Welcome back to another Recruiting Centrals hosted by Prep Baseball. I am here, Shooter Hunt, at the ABCA Convention with the legendary Coach Ray Hendrick of Randolph-Macon College in Virginia, coming off a 2024 College World Series appearance.
Yep.
But like I said, 2024, big World Series year for you guys. Probably eyeing another one back-to-back, I'm sure, fingers crossed.
Well, we've been to 2 in 6 years, so we haven't won one, but we've been to 2 in 6 years.
Yeah, knocking on the door.
Yeah.
So you have good players.
We do,
How
absolutely.
do you go about finding those guys? I know you're in Virginia, some regional stuff. What type of player are you going after, and how do you find them?
Well, first of all, we want kids that want to be part of our experience, that want to be part of Randolph-Macon. Again, I just talked about the transactional piece. We don't want to have players who are eyeing opportunities elsewhere. We want players that are excited about coming to Randolph-Macon because of what we offer academically, are excited about coming to Randolph-Macon because of our location being central to the state of Virginia, Washington, D.C., the Atlantic Ocean, the mountains, and we want players who want to win. We are Division III, so we do have limitations, no NLIs or NILs, but we do have what I tell our guys, we have no ceiling. We have an opportunity to win at a very, very high level where a lot of the schools, Division I in the state of Virginia, while ultra competitive, and several of my friends coach at those institutions, may have a ceiling. They may have a cap on how much success they can really have. So when we're out recruiting, we want to be able to get kids who are excited about the opportunity, who don't look at it as Division III or a step down, and are passionate about the education they're going to get, the experience they're going to have, and like we talked about off camera, winning at a high level, because we can do that. And your friends who played at other schools who won at a high level, it doesn't happen very often. So to be able to have that experience is important to us in the recruiting process.
Now what type of kids, so if I'm a kid in high school, I want to go to Randolph-Macon, I've seen you guys are a winning team, how should I get in contact with you? Is it, hey, I should send you an email, I'm really interested in this? Should I utilize social media? What is the process for me as a kid to get in touch with you to let you know I want to come?
Great question. I still think email. When I got into the business, it was letters.
Okay.
And now it becomes more electronic emails. I still think that's important. I think when you do send emails, though, because our program, like any college program, imagine, gets watered down with various recruiting services and just kids reaching out. And I know kids, likewise, are sending out messages to multiple coaches, not just one coach. So just making sure that the information is correct, the names are spelled correctly. Randolph-Macon is not with an F, it's with a PH. It's not a university, it's a college, those kind of things. But be short and succinct in your messaging to the coaches. Make sure you direct it to a member of the coaching staff, not just dear coaches. But to your point, social media. Yeah, that's big too now. And all of our coaches are engaged on a social media level, including me in a limited capacity. But being able to tag our coaches in Instagram, or be able to tag us in Twitter, with some videos or, some type of interest, I think is also a great way to be able to connect with our coaching staff. And probably a more rapid way to connect, because, emails, again, you probably get 10 to 15 emails a day from either individual students from all over the country, from Oregon, from the Midwest, and from obviously the region that we're in. But you'll also get emails from various recruiting services just trying to promote kids, and there's just not as much connectivity with those. So when you do send the emails, just be short, be to the point, and make sure the information is accurate.
I usually throw in a video, put something in there, a tweet, and even like you said, to the whole coaching staff, there are times where kids will ask me, who should I send to? Sometimes it's good to send it to an assistant, because you're very busy, you get a lot of emails.
Well, any head coach at any level is only as good as their assistants.
Yes.
And, as a head coach at a small college, I have secondary responsibilities in the athletic department. I'm a fundraiser. I'm a field maintenance guy. I work with the academic administration. So to your point, all head coaches are busy. At our level, it's with a bunch of different hats that I have to wear. But whether it be a Power 4 school or a small college like Randolph-Macon, the assistant coaches are what make the program operate and they run. And they primarily do the day-to-day recruiting in whatever capacity that school is focused on recruiting. So I 100% agree with you. Connecting with the assistant coach, connecting with the recruiting coordinator. Most websites and school information sites have recruiting coordinator information on there. But connecting with those, you can always copy the head coach on that correspondence. But the assistant coaches, by and large, are the ones that are going through the emails on a day-to-day basis, responding, sending out camp invites, things of that nature.
Now, what about the actual play? So we've talked about getting in touch with you. Hey, you still need to be pretty good, right? You guys didn't just trip into the World Series.
No doubt.
So when you go out to a game or a showcase, what are some of the things that immediately catch your eyes, and then what are some other things you're looking for throughout?
Well, clearly, like any coach at any school, we want to get the most talented player, but we also understand that kids that have a certain skill set, whether it be running speed, arm strength, hitting ability, they're going to get sucked into probably some bigger schools, and most kids want to chase that Division I dream, regardless of what the Division I program may look like, because it has that one in front of it. So we're, like any coach, is going to go out and try to find the most athletic kids, but at the end of the day, we understand that we're going to get kids that may lack a tool. So let's talk pitching, for example. If we go out to a game and a kid's throwing 88 to 92, that kid's probably not going to come to Randolph-Macon right out of high school, right? So what we need to do in our recruiting is we need to go out and find a kid who may be 80 to 82, 83, but has the mechanics to be able to develop, has the arm speed, the arm action to be able to work through things. Our assistant coaches are way smarter than me when it comes to data and biomechanics and forgive me, motor preference, I should say. And they'll be able to look at kids and they'll be able to identify how they can enhance a kid that might be, as a pitcher, we're using this example, 80 to 83. We look at strike percentage. We'll get on Game Changer or other apps like that to look at their stats from their high school or travel seasons, to look at their strike percentage, their ability to hold runners, athleticism and fielding their position, things of that nature. So we have to get a little bit deeper into the weeds when recruiting, and we have to look at 2 or 3 years down the road, as opposed to the finished product that might be coming in as a junior or a senior in high school.
It's kind of, I love it. You're in the weeds, really. I love the motor patterns, all sorts of stuff, especially on the mound, guys who are hitting. And you just heard it from Coach Hedrick here, like, they're looking at Game Changers. They're going through all the data points. They're looking at TrackMan. This is no slappy program.
No,
That's the reason you guys
we're not just flipping a coin and saying we'll take that guy. No, it is, and really, Shooter, what is most important with our program is connectivity, and we will recruit. We are located right in the middle of the Mid-Atlantic in Central Virginia, outside of the state capital of Richmond. So we do a vast majority of our recruiting in Virginia, but we also work within that Mid-Atlantic, 75 to 100-mile radius around our campus. And we really like to build our program through relationships. And early in our conversation, we talked about not being transactional, being relationship-based. We feel the same way when it comes to your recruiting. If Jason Burton reaches out to me and says, I've got a guy, I know this kid's family, I believe that he'd be a great fit. He knows our program as well as anybody. And that matters to us. So I just think those are the type of people that we want to talk to in the recruiting process to make sure that we're finding the right players and the right people. It's not just, well, he's in a really good program, or he runs a 6.5, or he throws 90, or it's not just a skill set thing for us. I mean, we dive really deep into the details, the data details, the motor preference details, and we dive into the personal details in terms of the relationship. Because again, we want somebody who wants to be in Ashland for 4 years. We want that college experience to be part of their future, not just a hop, skip, and a jump between place A, place B, and place C.
Motor preference. I got to take that down. That's like a new one. I'm going to start throwing that in. I may steal it from you.
Yeah, you can steal it, man. It's like I just heard Coach Tony V from Tennessee talk about, like, we all plagiarize from each other, right? We all get stuff from each other.
It's the best way, and that's why the baseball community is so tight-knit.
Yeah.
But you are talking about so much high-level stuff. You have had a bunch of pros. Like, again, my friends who all play Division III, who walk in and say, like, we would have beat your in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
You got real guys. These guys put on uniforms and they got real arms. They can hit. They're ready to do things. So we're watching professional guys right now and in major leagues do stuff from all levels. What is the developmental aspect for your program? They still got classes. They're still going to school. There's still a lot that goes into the time consumption. What is a day like for a player in your program?
Well, the one thing I talk to recruits about all the time is the college will do two things for you. One, it'll help you build relationships and network. But moreover, time management. Because when you're a student athlete, you have to be able to juggle academics, to your point. You have to be able to juggle athletics. And oh, by the way, you're 18 to 22-year-old young man. Like, you got to have fun. You got to enjoy your college experience. You got to go to parties. You got to go on dates, things of that nature. So you're absolutely right. It's a time monster. And it is in Division III, right? We have some rules and limitations in place through the NCAA that might limit us a little bit more than Division I's in the offseason. but any program worth its weight in the Division III and the programs that are consistently there year in and year out, they're putting the work in year round. It may be off campus, but they're putting the work in. So to your question, yeah, our kids have classes and they take 14 to 15 to 18 hours depending. Lab sciences, things of that nature. We have to work practices and individual skill work around that, weight room times around that. But hey, by the way, we also fundraise, so we can supplement our budget. We also do community outreach events so that we can continue to build a good brand and a good name out in Hanover County and Ashland and the surrounding RVA communities. So, our kids are very busy. The fall looks different than the spring because there's so much else going on in the fall. We work home football games as part of games management responsibilities. We, as I said, community service. We do fundraising. They go to class. We practice, 24 some days in the fall. Like it's a lot going on. More in the spring, it's more school and baseball. And we have a more set 15 weeks where we're just in a constant routine, 6 days a week. Go to class, go to practice, go to class, go to games, things of that nature.
I always find it, especially the Division III level, right? You're really good at baseball. You're playing for Tony V at Tennessee National.
Yep.
It's so easy to go to the park and like baseball.
Yep.
A kid at your level where, hey, we have these other duties we're doing. We're going to class. We're playing. That guy loves baseball.
Yeah.
Because even 30th man on your roster, like this kid loves baseball.
Well, even at Division III, right? Because there's no NILs, right? Sorry, there's no There's no NILs.
Come on, Subway.
So the kids are doing it because they love it. And I always talk to the kids at the beginning of the year about you're doing this because you love to do it, because you want to do it. You have a pure passion for being an athlete. And there's nothing over your head. There's nothing, they would all like to have those opportunities, I'm sure, but families are investing into the education, into the college experience, the 4-year college experience like I talked about. There's no NILs, there's no NLIs. We're only doing academic monies. We're only doing federal monies. Like we are reliant on other people to be able to resource and help with the cost of school. So you're absolutely right. These kids love it and they're passionate about it. And I think that's why you see so many Division III student athletes go on and have success, not necessarily in professional athletics, but just in life.
Yes.
It's awesome.
You're hireable. You've worked for something, building good habits, right? You talked about the time management. I always think back to my days. You have that one off day a week.
Yeah.
I don't know what to do. Yeah. Everything's structured. I know what I do each day, and even now.
But is it an off day? Because you still have class.
Oh yeah. Well,
or you still got to study. Or you still got to do body care, right?
Yep.
Yeah, it's an off day in terms of team activities, but when you're a student athlete, you have to devote a lot of time to the sport in which you're competing, to the educational experience, but you also can't forget about being a kid and enjoying the social aspects of it.
For sure, building great habits for a hireable professional.
But they're hireable. You're absolutely
right.
And there's that. Again, I keep emphasizing it, the 4 years, the loyalty, the self-discipline, like the seeing it through. Maybe you don't play a lot as a freshman. I'm a Division III kid and I'm not playing, but I can tell you after 20 years at Randolph-Macon, countless stories of students that maybe didn't even dress their freshman year, and by their senior year, they're all-region, all-American type of players. So, yeah, there is a special place, and I believe there will continue to be a special niche at the Division III level, just in terms of having a good, positive college experience that will build successful and contributing members to society.
Without a doubt. Well, Coach Hedrick, this has been awesome. We are eyeing a Big 25 for Randolph-Macon, some Division III baseball action. I might have to go after the World Series this year. I know. I was hoping it was in Appleton.
No, it's not. It's out in East Lake. We moved from Cedar Rapids, what I was going to say. East Lake, Ohio, but you can catch the Guardians while you're there.
You know what? I'm in. So until next time, it's been a Recruiting Essentials with Prep Baseball. I'm Shooter Hunt.